Lauren Curran suffers from nightmares and paranoia. Every morning she wakes up in fear and takes medication to control her condition. Upon hearing strange noises in the house, Lauren became alert. Her husband Russell wasn't supposed to be here. Suddenly a dark silhouette appeared in front of Lauren, approaching. Lauren grabbed a sharp object. Suddenly the silhouette disappeared. When Russell entered, his panicked wife rushed to him, saying that someone was in the house. But of course they were alone. Lauren is an artist. Her paintings are filled with eerie atmosphere and blurry images. Russell believes they should move out of here. He just wants his wife to feel safe. After a while, the spouses moved. They were greeted by real estate agent Lance Gayer, as well as head concierge Dominique and engineer Ryan. Lance showed the couple a multi-apartment building equipped with a super technological security system. Lauren and Russell were satisfied with the spacious apartment. Russell is ready to work overtime and without days off just to make his wife happy. They have time to consider whether to buy the apartment. Perhaps life outside the city will indeed benefit them. That night, Lauren couldn't sleep again. Terrifying memories from the past continue to haunt her. In the morning, she told her husband that she agrees to move. Russell hugged his wife, promising that everything will change from now on. That same day at her therapist appointment, Lauren shared that she still hasn't returned to drawing. But Lauren is tired of being afraid. In the evening, for the first time in many months, she decided to go out in public and attended a party with her husband. It was indeed a difficult step for her. Russell introduced Lauren to Scott Ingram and his wife Margot. While the men talked, Margot told Lauren about the residents of the building. Most of them are wealthy and influential people. When Margot stepped away, Lauren felt uncomfortable. A strange guy named Tim Hoyle wouldn't take his eyes off her. Lauren was completely confused. Philip Starks, who had inherited his father's advertising agency, noticed this and said he also wasn't a fan of parties. While Lauren was in the restroom, someone persistently tried to open the door. Annoyed, Lauren came out to see who it was. Before her stood a little girl named Ali. Some woman, presumably the nanny, took Ali away. After the party, Russell praised his wife for handling herself well. By the way, Ali is Margot and Scott's daughter. For some reason Lauren can't stop thinking about her. Each resident of the building has access to the surveillance system. Through her tablet, Lauren saw a woman in the parking lot who immediately disappeared. The next morning when Russell left for work, Lauren went to the gym located right inside the building. At one point she noticed Tim, who was watching her. A few minutes later the guy disappeared. Later at home, Lauren sorted through things reminding her of their son with Russell. A tragic accident turned their whole life upside down. Lauren still can't stay alone in the house. At a nearby cafe, she searched the internet for information on adoption. But there's no guarantee Russell will agree to it. In the parking lot near the house, Lauren felt uneasy. In the evening while cooking dinner and talking to her husband, who was absorbed in work, Lauren noticed at one point that a word flashed on the TV screen. At night, Lauren was awakened by a child's voice saying "Mommy." Lauren walked around the apartment trying to understand where the voice was coming from. Or was it all in her head? Looking through the peephole, Lauren saw one of the residents and screamed. Russell came running, but there was no one behind the door. Russell thought that his wife was having another episode of mental disorder. The next morning, Ryan came to them but found no technical issues. When Margot called and suggested having lunch together, Lauren happily agreed. Margot chatted nonstop. In turn, Lauren shared that she often hears some hissing sounds in the apartment. Margot replied that she hadn't noticed anything like that. In the evening at home, Lauren heard those same sounds again. Suddenly the television turned on by itself. Terrifying images associated with the past began flashing before Lauren's eyes. At some point, the vision ended as abruptly as it began. Lauren searched the internet for information about Henning Dahlqvist, the creator of smart buildings. Could it be that the security system here is not flawless? During breakfast, Lauren shared with her husband the idea that smart buildings could be a controlled experiment by large corporations collaborating with government agencies. Of course, Russell didn't take this theory seriously. Lauren decided to go to Philip Starks and told him about the flickering images on the television. Philip explained that such an effect was often used by advertising agencies to boost sales until it was banned legislatively. In the evening, seeing her husband wandering outside their house, Lauren went to him and asked what was wrong. Russell confessed that he often reminisces about the past. After receiving another prescription from her therapist, Lauren admitted that she had recently been searching for information about adoption. But perhaps she's rushing things. At home before taking her medication, Lauren heard sounds. The television wasn't on, but Lauren could clearly hear hissing. Suddenly terrifying images started flashing on the screen again, changing rapidly. When the screen went blank, Lauren could barely keep from crying. In a fit of emotion she threw away her pills. Unable to stay at home any longer, Lauren went to the cafe and corresponded on an internet forum with people who, like her, believe in conspiracy theories. Perhaps government agencies use infrasound and other frequencies to control people's minds. In the inter-apartment hallway, Lauren crossed paths with Tim, who said he wasn't one of them. After those words, the guy, without explaining anything, simply walked away. For Lauren, being alone in her own apartment is a whole ordeal. Lauren was once again planning to go to Philip, but no one had seen him in the past few days. Margot and Ali invited Lauren to join them at the pool, and she agreed. Ali was a poor swimmer. This made Lauren remember the past again. Water was her strongest trigger. Margot asked Lauren to help Ali, but Lauren couldn't move from shock. In the evening, she asked her husband if he had heard anything about infrasound or covert hypnosis. Russell said he didn't hear any sounds or see any images in the house. Lauren speculated that she's just more sensitive to such things. Russell believes his wife's illness has returned. Last time it all started exactly the same way. Finding no understanding from her husband, Lauren left the apartment feeling upset. Memories continue to haunt her. In the parking lot, Lauren ran into Margot but said nothing. The guilt of not being able to save the son once gnawed at her. Closing herself in the car, Lauren cried. She didn't sleep again all night. At her next therapy session, Lauren didn't hear anything new. She continues to search for information on forums in hopes that someone will provide answers to her questions. Leaving her phone number on the forum, Lauren almost immediately received a call from one of the users, who sent her a file with encrypted documents. Next we see some guy in a hoodie walking down the street. He came to the cafe and agreed to talk to Lauren alone on the condition that she turn off her phone. The guy told Lauren that the CIA is perfecting digital technologies to gain control over people's minds. Learning that Lauren regularly hears sounds and sees fleeting images, he promised to send her more data. Before leaving, the guy told Lauren that she's not paranoid. Meanwhile, Russell placed hidden cameras throughout the house. As Lauren parked outside the house, she saw Tim standing on the building's roof. Suddenly he took a step down in front of Lauren. After talking to the police, Russell told his wife that Tim was mentally ill. Lauren wants to move out of here as soon as possible. The next day, after photographing the house, the hooded guy immediately ran away and later did something on his laptop. Lauren is now part of this whole web. She doesn't feel safe at all in this house. Waking up from another nightmare, Lauren heard her husband talking on the phone. Lauren asked Russell who he was talking to. Russell claimed he wasn't talking to anyone. Both phones were charging. Russell just couldn't sleep. In the morning, he wanted to stay home because he was worried about his wife. But Lauren assured him that everything was fine, and Russell went to work. But in reality, nothing was fine. During the day at the cafe, Lauren studied files previously received from the hooded guy. Soon the guy himself joined her, placing a special device on the table, which was a jamming generator. The guy, who turned out to be a journalist, said he intends to expose the government, which, using advanced technologies, is trying to take control of people's minds. And this is happening not only here but also around the world. The journalist also advised Lauren to completely stop taking medication. Together they can prove their theory. Seeing a suspicious guy near the house, the concierge got worried. She didn't know it was part of the plan. While the journalist, pretending to be a pizza delivery guy, distracted Dominique, Lauren sneaked into the room of the building where control over the entire security system was taking place. Hearing footsteps, Lauren hurried to hide. Ryan was adjusting something in the equipment. When he left, Lauren took photos of everything and later showed the pictures to the journalist, who said it looked like military equipment. The guy promised that through an influential acquaintance, he would inquire about Henning Dahlqvist. For now, Lauren was forced to return to her apartment. She constantly reviewed the footage from the security cameras, noticing strange things. Apparently her husband is communicating with someone from the residents of the building. When Russell returned, his wife asked him who lives in apartment 410. Without receiving an answer, Lauren went to that apartment, which turned out to be empty. Lauren no longer understands what is true and what is her imagination. The next day, she decided to follow the husband, but at some point lost sight of him. The journalist called Lauren and said he wanted to meet elsewhere because he was supposedly being followed. As agreed, they met at some warehouse. The journalist stated that it's not Henning Dahlqvist who's behind all this. It was much more serious than they could have imagined. Without explaining anything else, the journalist advised Lauren to move as soon as possible. Coming home, Lauren was surprised to see Beatrice Landry, her psychiatrist, there. Both Russell and Dr. Landry believe it would be better for Lauren to be hospitalized again. Like his wife, Russell misses the son, but he found the strength to come to terms with the grief. Lauren didn't want to hear anything about hospitalization and left, unable to control herself. She ran for a long time, but it's impossible to escape from the past. The husband soon found Lauren, who declared that she agreed to hospitalization. She began taking her medication again, realizing that she couldn't handle it on her own. Making sure his wife was more or less okay, Russell was going to go to the gym. However, things were much worse than he thought. As soon as Lauren was alone, she spat out all the medication. While Russell was working out, the wife rummaged through his things and found a spare phone with photos of Ali. Some subscriber wrote Russell a message that it's time to start. Lauren was about to leave the apartment right now, but the elevator jammed. The lights began to flicker, and Lauren saw someone nearby. After a minute, everything returned to normal. Lauren hurried to her car, but Ryan smashed the window. He and another resident of the building attacked Lauren. Morning came. She woke up immobilized in front of the television, where frames with a call to obey were flickering. Suddenly a journalist burst into the apartment and, smashing the TV screen, freed Lauren. She knows that those people are using hypnosis to make her harm Ali. The journalist, named Vernon Sarsfield, gave Lauren the keys to his car and a gun. When she fled, Vernon pulled out his own gun. Gunshots rang out. Taking the car and driving away, Lauren called 911, but the operator deemed her crazy. Lauren found Ali, who was with her nanny at the playground. Lauren declared that Ali was in danger. When Russell appeared, Lauren began threatening him with the gun. Russell told his wife that he had previously doubted her sanity, so he had installed hidden cameras in the house. Now he knows she was telling the truth. However, Lauren is convinced that her husband is in league with those people. After firing a warning shot, Lauren took Ali and drove away from here. Digital hypnosis had already partially taken control of Lauren's consciousness, but she was trying her best to fight it. Lauren took Ali to a safe place, to some abandoned house. Calming the girl down, Lauren asked her to wait here. Lauren herself was going to finish something. Her gun was missing. The road was blocked by branches. There were 3 more cars nearby. Lauren had to continue walking on foot. She returned to the house where the tenants were waiting for her, including Philip, who asked if she had done what she was supposed to do. Pretending to be under hypnosis, Lauren said that Ali was no longer alive. Philip thanked her for the contribution to the development of psychotechnology. Now they will strike a serious blow to their competitors. But when Philip opened Lauren's backpack, it turned out to be filled with apples. At that moment, Lauren found herself again in that abandoned house. Was all of this just a product of her imagination? Suddenly she received a call from Russell. Had the husband been with her all this time? Was he playing along with her psychosis? When Lauren found herself back in the smart house, she said that the success had been greatly exaggerated. Suddenly Russell appeared with a gun and took the lives of Philip and the others. That's how it all ended. Some time later, Lauren visited Vernon's grave. She and Russell moved to a new big house. At some point, Lauren heard the creepy hissing again. But it turned out that it was just Russell trying to adjust the TV. Embracing his wife, Russell said that they were safe now. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel not to miss more exciting new products. Also, the authors will be pleased if you leave your opinion in the comments.